not going to believe where I'm at today. I'm in a super exclusive country club, if you will. A country club for those that love adrenaline and love speed. I'm at Atlanta Motorsports Park, right nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains, Dawsonville, Georgia. And I have Calais McGuinness with me today. Thanks for having us out, Calais. She facilitated our ability to get out here today, and she is with Panoramic Doors. Calais, thank you. Appreciate you having us out.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah, no kidding. This, I mean, you literally have race cars running behind us. They run go-karts out here, race cars. There's a whole plethora of Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Maseratis, Porsches, you name it. It's out here. And there's an event taking place, and we're gonna get an opportunity to kind of hang out with some of the exclusive, the elite of Atlanta, if you will. But we're here to talk a little bit about what's behind me, not just the racetrack, but talk about what's going on with these doors right back here.
So these are panoramic doors. These are the coolest, customizable folding door system that exists in Atlanta and in the country.
Yeah.
So you have multiple panels. You've got one operational door that opens, and then the rest of the panels are individual sliding. They meet that main pivot door and they pivot open against it. So the whole thing opens. You can also customize your opening. So you could move two panels and have openings on either side, or you could space them for wind flow, redirect traffic throughout your space. So really, really neat for an event space like this where you may have people coming through, different traffic patterns, need it wide open, indoor, outdoor feelings.
Yeah, I mean, we're actually in this motorsports park has trackside condos, and we're in one of the most recently finished condominium where there's a garage down below where this gentleman keeps his cars and motorcycles, and then up top here is the kind of the loft area, and then the panoramic doors, you know, are right here, obviously to act as a traditional door, of course. But then what's so super cool about this is that you get an opportunity to open these up, and then it becomes this giant covered patio, and then you have, you know, outdoor access to the track itself. So just an awesome product. So talk to us a little bit about, you know, right now with so many with interest rates below 4%, below 5%, and below 3%, people are staying put. Many of you all are renovating houses. Now, how can panoramic doors fit into their renovations?
Panoramic doors are actually instrumental in making a renovation just a blowout, awesome, cool thing to do. A panoramic door can take your living room space and totally change what your living room can do. You can take a living room that has maybe just a fireplace with a television and a sofa and blow out an entire wall that leads to your backyard, maybe your pool, your deck, and that becomes an extension of your living space. You bring your indoor out, your outdoor in, and the whole thing expands. It becomes much larger. You can entertain. It's a lot of fun and really just a neat feature.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an entertainer, it's kind of like your dream product, right? I mean, you literally can turn the outdoors, indoors, indoors, outdoors. I mean, it's so versatile. Now, talk about some of those different like success stories that you've had with panoramic doors, whether that's, you know, increasing values, helping sell. I mean, talk a little bit about that, or just making people happy.
Well, everybody's happy with the panoramic doors. No, I mean, panoramic doors go in a lot of really cool places. They've been used as garage doors. I've seen some really cool, innovative ways to use these. I've seen them in conference rooms with frosted glass. People use them kind of like a dry erase board and slide a panel away and then use another one. But really just the most impactful thing a panoramic door can do is transform a space. You walk in a room and you go, whoa, what is that? But then in use, in function, it's just such a, you know, it's a really impactful way to change what a space can do.
Right. So Calais, talk to us a little bit about like who you are. You know, how did you get involved with panoramic doors? Like not just hey, I was doing this one job and then I want to hear about how you got started, because you've got we were chatting on the side, and I didn't know this about you, but you were a competitive athlete in college. You were a student athlete. So talk a little bit about that and how sort of that competitiveness got you here, those type of things.
I was a competitive swimmer most of my life. Went to college, studied sociology and musical theater. Nothing to do with doors. Grew up with a father who was a contractor, so have always been kind of, weaving in and out of different spaces, and, spent a lot of time in the design, build, architecture world. And when Panoramic Doors came about, I thought, that's really cool. It was an opportunity that I jumped on, and I've been with the company for about 4 years now, and it's just been really, really neat. It's a cool product. People are really happy with it. It's expanding, it's growing, and Georgia's just a hot market. We've actually expanded into Florida recently.
Oh, wow.
So the panhandle of Florida, here we come.
I would imagine that's going to be an amazing market with, obviously being on the beach and, opening up. Oh man, that's going to be phenomenal.
For sure.
So talk a little bit about your situation right now, because you mentioned to me earlier that you're playing tennis right now. So talk about how you're fitting in, because we're talking about lifestyle as a whole, right? I want to know more about Calais. So tell us about, you've got a passion right now for tennis. So talk to us about that.
I do. Yeah, out of the blue one day, am I red yet? Didn't realize we were going so deep. I have 2 boys. I had a baby. I had my second baby, and I was thinking, man, I got to do something. I got to get back. I got to be me again. And I pulled into my neighborhood and saw the tennis club, and I just swerved in, and I thought, okay, here we go. I'm going to try something new. And I walked in, and I just said, how do I do this? I'm going to do this. I'm going to play tennis now. So she let me borrow a racket, and I jumped out there like a crazy person, just balls everywhere, jumping around like a lunatic. But it was enough fun for me to go back, and I kept going back, and I am now on 2 teams, and I keep doing it, and I love that competitive edge back in my life. It's awesome.
Awesome. Well, I love to hear that. All right, so as you're aware, I'm in mortgages, and for the last 22 years, I've been working in the mortgage field, in real estate. So I want to know about your thoughts on what's going on in the market. And some people may be asking, why are you asking, Calais? Well, you deal with people that are renovating houses. So, talk to us about why you think people are renovating houses. Talk to us about what you see that's happening in your industry and how that is reflective in the real estate world.
Yeah, I see fluctuations all over the place. Right now, like you said, interest rates are so good. A lot of people are staying put in what they have. They're renovating. They are pulling in all kinds of ideas. They're putting pools in the backyard, especially COVID was a huge,
Sure.
A lot of people had a hard time with COVID, and businesses were, tanking. And fortunately for me, I did really well. People were sitting home and they were looking around and going, well, let's do it.
Yeah.
So, we did really well during COVID while people were home. We also see a lot of new builds.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Are you seeing more and more contractors, builders implementing panoramic doors into their initial build?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. As our reputation grows, we are a newer company to the East Coast. So as we do more and more work, have more people using panoramic doors, more things like this happening,
Yeah.
Our name gets out there and we're included in a lot more.
Excellent. Now, what about, what are your thoughts? You and I had a interaction years ago when you were buying your house. So talk to everybody, fill everybody in. I don't need you to share your absolute personal, situation, but give some advice as to what you would recommend to a first-time home buyer, or not even just a first-time home buyer, somebody that's buying a house. What can you take from your experience and share with somebody that's wanting to get into buying a house or getting into real estate?
Yeah, I mean, I can say specifically with my experience working with you, find somebody you trust to work with. Speaking of sharing personal details, when you go to buy a house, you share everything. You share your finances and what you're looking for in a house and your family life and all of that. So you have been somebody who's, for years, whether we ended up working together or not, have been really helpful and trustworthy. And that's been huge.
Right. Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I think you need to make certain that, no matter who, and Kelly hit the nail on the head, no matter who you're working with, make certain that you're working with somebody that you can trust. If it's not me, I can certainly recommend somebody that I would suggest that you work with, because ultimately you're developing a relationship, and like you said, you're going to find out. I'm going to find out, my underwriters are going to find out, my processors are going to find out pretty much all the intimate details of your financial situation. So you want to be with somebody, like you said, that you can trust and you can count on, and that's going to put you on the right path. So thanks for sharing that. So tell us where everybody can find you.
Panoramicdoors.com is our website. I'm on Instagram at PanoramicATL. It's a mix of personal and panoramic doors. Heads up. There's also a Facebook page for Panoramic Doors, as well as an Instagram page for Panoramic Doors. So we're all over the place.
Okay.
I do have a showroom in Buckhead off Miami Circle. It's by appointment, so please call or email if you'd like to come see the doors in person.
So you can reach out to Calais and set up an appointment down at Miami Circle. Check out their amazing panoramic doors. Calais, thank you for such an amazing day. I appreciate you setting everything up.
Thank you.
My name is Darin Hunter. This is Calais McGuinness, and my name is Darin Hunter.